Hello, everyone. Today I'm going to ask you a very simple question. And the question is, whom do you think you are raising? Now, you may be wondering, of course, we are raising our children. Why is this question? Now, the question is because sometimes, we're thinking that, we are raising our children, but somewhere we are actually trying to raise our own inner child or the little version of us who wanted to be raised in certain ways, but due to any reasons we were not raised in that manner, and now we want to compensate that by being the parent that we needed in our childhood. And that's, do you not think that this sounds very, messed up? And that's why then, our life also get messed up because we are trying to raise an individual who is not you. And maybe, the child is not even anywhere close to your personality, and now you are trying to raise that child based on your experience of your childhood and expectations from your parents. And this all makes it very, very messy situation. Now, I'll just give a little simple example to understand what's going on. So what happens is sometimes, we may think that, in our childhood, we should have been brought up in a certain way. And maybe you wanted certain way, your parents to protect you or provide you or deal with you or handle you in a certain way that you thought in your childhood you needed that, but you didn't get due to any reason, right? And now as an adult, now you want your children, to have the same kind of parenting that you think you wanted in your childhood. Suppose you were a very gentle and very, very timid kind of a person, yeah, and you had a very strict upbringing. Now as a child, you despised that, you didn't like it. Okay, I was brought up that way, now I just don't want that to happen to my child. Now I'm going to raise my child in a very gentle way. So what happens is that now you are handling your child in a way that you wanted to be handled in your childhood. Now, your child, who is not you, and maybe your child doesn't have the same personality as you, maybe the child is a strong willed child. So now these strong willed children need to be handled in a different way. But you are, through your own childhood experience or maybe trauma, you are handling your child in a gentle way. Actually, the child doesn't need it. Why? Because strong willed children or children who are having very strong opinions and very strong will, they have their own way of dealing with the situation and dealing with life, which is very different from yours. So they need guidance accordingly. But what you are trying to do is you are giving them upbringing based on your own expectations from your childhood. Now this doesn't work because this childhood has no this doesn't have the kind of personality that you have. Now is getting the kind of upbringing that the child doesn't need, and the child may be needing a more firm parent, a parent who draws the boundary, the parent who is very very strong. And now you are being very gentle. So this is going to backfire because the child doesn't need that kind of parenting. Now this is just a normal example, a general example, but you got the point that you are different, your child is different, your personality and your child's personality may be different, and so this mindset is not going to help your child. Now what happens, suppose you raise a child in a very gentle manner. Now the child, especially the strong willed children, they can just get away from whatever they want, and because they don't really have that kind of discretion, they then behave in a manner that is not appropriate. Now you on the other hand you'll be wondering, why my child is behaving this way, I did everything what you thought is right, and now my child doesn't behave properly. What's wrong? Now because the child needed to show the boundaries, they needed the guidance how to conduct themselves, and because the child didn't get it, now the child is maybe misbehaving, or sometimes they can be really troublesome for themselves and for other people. And then you may be feeling very frustrated, I don't know what went wrong. So Just today, sit down and just think about this. Am I raising my child the way I want it to be raised, or the way my child needs to be? If my child needs to be around an assertive parent rather than permissive parent, then am I being able to do it? Or sometimes, it is the other way around also. So, because in your childhood, you may need it, the strong parenting, and you were not given the strong parenting, but now you may need to think according to your child's needs. So this is just a simple example that I would try to give. But today, I would want you to sit and think what you are doing and is it helping? And if you think this video resonated with you, then do let me know in the comments, and follow for more for such videos. And until next time, just be mindful of whom are you trying to raise, and is it working? Or if it is not working, then think about it. And until next time, just be mindful and happy parenting.